Welcome to the Boston Art Podcast. I am Brian Huntress.
I'm Theodora Earthworms.
And this is the episode.
Woo!
Alright, I'm recording, just so everyone's,
right now?
so everyone's clear. Don't say anything that you wouldn't want posted on a billboard. I think this is going to be one of those episodes where it's an ambient episode, where there's a lot of dead air, but it's ambient dead air.
Yeah, it's like a nice episode.
Yeah, we're in Allston, in front of Blanchard's liquor store. The city lights, graffiti, people walking around,
buying
the beautiful...
sea cows or whatever the fuck Chris was saying in the car.
Trevor is here, Chris is here.
Buying sea cows?
Oh yeah, what were you talking about?
What? Oh, sea ice.
Sea ice.
A
Yeah,
really,
manatee.
really bad, cheap vodka.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I've never had it.
Yeah.
Do you ever, walk around areas like this after being in the suburbs for so long and, realize, oh, wow, I'm around people now?
Unironically, seeing the Boston skyline today, fucked me up a little bit. Because I haven't had to drive this south in so fucking long.
Oh, yeah, you're Lowell.
Yeah,
That sucks.
it does.
I like a good Lowell excursion.
An excursion
people.
and being there are different things, I think.
That's true. We're following Chris down the street and into traffic right now because we're going to go eat Egyptian food.
Yeah, so no, to answer your question,
Yeah.
I've spent, so basically everywhere I go, I'm haunted by memories, and
That's good.
this place is worse than anywhere.
Oh, worse for memories that you're haunted by?
Yeah, I'm just constantly fucking tortured. So I was dating a girl for a long time who lived on this street. We were going to pass her apartment she used to live in.
Oh, yeah.
She worked right here in this bar, and it was a bit of a troubled relationship.
Right. Yeah, that's always tough. There's a few neighborhoods in Boston where I walk around and I'm just time traveled back to some just sad, morose memory that I didn't know would be a sad memory. You ever have a memory that's a sad memory, but you didn't know that it was when it was happening?
Every fucking moment of my life.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Most people that I don't talk to anymore for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Brian,
Hello.
you just had your art gallery opening.
I just said, oh yeah, that's a significant event to talk about.
big
We
deal.
left the art reception that we talked about on the episode with Dwayne and possibly others. Oh yeah, there's the apartment
Hang out
on that balcony, on that fire escape.
I used to have an Allston fire escape.
Yeah. Yes, it's nice. We left the reception. It ended. We talked to some horrible drunk guy. That guy was
sailor.
fucking horrible.
Almost murdered with his own fucking bone.
He was fucking horrible. It was a nightmare to talk to him. It was painful from the beginning to the end.
I only saw him for 3 seconds, but I agree.
There's the place. There we go.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, now we're just chilling. That's the vibe. We're chilling and not getting hit by a car.
I'm just following Chris.
Good.
He's doing a good job.
I'm a jaywalker. I'm addicted to jaywalking.
I like that.
Yeah. I just love running in front of cars, even though I get hit.
You got to get your
I
kick
can't
somehow,
stop.
you know? When you're sober, you got to find that adrenaline from other places, you know?
This place isn't open. I'm going to jump in front of the bus.
Well, it doesn't sound that bad to you.
How we doing? I'd like a lamb shawarma wrap, please.
What did you order? A lamb shawarma wrap? Let's go check. Do you guys want to go ahead of me? I got to look at the menu for 1 second. I'm sorry.
Me too.
Thank you for your patience with me. Fuck, what do I get? What is the thing that you got like? Does it have cheese on it?
I don't think there's cheese.
It's not a dairy type thing?
Well, it's got like a yogurt-based sauce, I think.
Okay. I could just fucking send and just get some shit.
Send it. Send it.
Well, see, I can't eat cheese. I'll perish. Not like
Will we
anaphylaxis style.
perish?
No, just actually everybody. Well, no. Okay, let's see.
You get a falafel.
What's a falafel?
It's chickpeas.
So like
Fried.
So
balls,
it's
chickpea.
think of like a chicken nugget, but it's chickpeas instead.
what else?
It's usually got yogurt sauce on it, which might be bad. I'm trying to think of the things.
I'm
that
gonna
I
just
do
fucking
that.
do it.
But other than that, it's just salad.
I'm gonna get what Chris got. What'd you get? Lamb shawarma?
Lamb shawarma. Oh, thank you.
Hi. Could I just get the same thing that he got? Yeah, please. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Dead air. That's okay. It's fine.
You just got thrown out of the water.
I did. Yeah, that's a good piece. Did you get a drink? Get a drink. What? To your life?
Have you guys had any more, like, people think that you're more official than you are since the last time we spoke?
No, I don't think so.
No, everyone mostly thinks we're stupid now.
They caught on?
They caught on to how fucking dumb we are. Well, no, the FPAC, the whole thing with FPAC, they really like us because, and the show cards that we're promoting, the postcards that we're distributing the things, said Boston Art Podcast on them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
I feel like Dwayne made that happen.
Dwayne did, yeah.
I like that your booklet had Boston Art Podcast as a hyperlink on a printed piece of paper.
I did notice
really
that.
enjoyed
Thank you very
that.
much. What are you guys getting? Did you order yet? Did you order, Theo? Oh, look hungry. Look very sad with wide
Do you think that
eyes.
Puss in Boots does with the hat? Thank you.
Boston, Phoenix.
They don't got anything. They don't got shit to do on us.
Well, they literally don't because they don't exist anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a defunct newspaper?
For like 8 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I really know anything about any local newspapers.
Nobody does. This is the thing. I had this realization recently that when you're a musician and you're trying to release music, it's always like, okay, like I got to get on the blogs. I got to get on the like the websites and like the newspapers and shit. Nobody reads that stuff.
I don't
But
really.
The only people that ever
yeah.
look for them are musicians who are trying to get write-ups.
If you use Miso Soup, you can get more playlisting than write-ups. It's very useful.
Yes.
How much was it?
Want to see something famous?
I love that.
Okay, see.
They let me wear my hat.
Yeah, that's actually pretty unusual, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's dead ass illegal.
Look how bad this is.
Yeah, I got a drink. Oh, it's not working?
Yeah.
Can I? But my card isn't working.
Okay.
Could we combine?
Chip.
Could we combine two of our orders? Yes, exactly.
And a drink.
Sorry. Yeah, I got a drink too.
27.45.
Isn't that the best? Don't you love having like small local bands that sometimes just like
What is it?
I said, don't you love having like small localized southern
yeah.
banks that just like sometimes are just like, you're not you.
Yeah, my bank actually does that to me occasionally.
Are you calling me 3 times?
I did. It was while we
Tell you
were.
not to follow.
I was like, don't pull up behind me while I was doing that ridiculous maneuver.
Oh, but I did.
Exactly. I was trying to like warn you.
That's okay. You were calling me while you were doing it.
Yes, that made it. That really affected my performance. Trying to turn around. So we'll eat here.
Nice.
I'm gonna take the chair, just because I like the type of design on it.
Like a
Nice
Corvette ass. Like,
Yeah, exactly. See, you know what I really like about episodes like this?
No.
Is that I don't think I really listen to any podcasts that don't like have content in the episode where it's just like you're just kind of like vaguely there in the episode.
I listened to a few, and they're like very like soothing in a really weird way.
Really?
It
I
is
wonder
a
if this
little
one is.
parasocial. You were talking about it on the last one where you were like, do you think people like don't hang out with us? Because and I was like, that definitely is the case a little bit. Save the fact that I would hang out with you guys more if we didn't live like over an hour
That's
away at
fair.
this point.
Yeah.
Right,
So
true.
it's like actually kind of like getting like a fix in a way of just like, oh, these are my friends that I care about but can't see that often and have real like conversation with.
It's really funny because I was making fun of one of my coworkers the other day at work because she's on FaceTime all the time with her friends, which is kind of weird if she's at work, but like whatever. And then I was like, I just do that, but like without letting anyone talk back to me, like often.
Oh, like recording yourself?
Without, no,
Like this, yeah.
Do you want to have parasocialites?
not really.
You don't want people that think they're your friends even though you don't know them?
Well, I think I don't want to do that, and like I don't want to leverage that. Like I feel like
I want to.
I feel like that isn't exactly what I want out of it, but
Well, because it's like you know, I mean that's basically what fame is, but like on a smaller scale.
right. But I feel like it's different. Like when somebody's famous, you look at them and you're just like, this is kind of awe. Like you're like, wow, this person is so legendary and fucking sick. But parasocial relationship, your brain feels like you know them. Like, does your brain really know the difference between like seeing a person's face and watching them talk and laughing at them and learning about their thing? Like, you know what I mean? It's like Paw Patrol for like adults.
It's like
What?
Like I'm saying, your limbic system in the reward center in your brain may not really understand that you're not around real people.
social hit markers.
Yeah, like when you're having a parasocial positive experience with a content creator.
Yeah.
So I feel like there are really bad ways that you can have parasocial relationships, and people do it in predatory ways where they're just farming money from like sad people or something.
Or
Yeah.
worse.
Right, or way worse, yeah. But I feel like
What do you think of your shawarma?
I like it. This is good. Shawarma. So what type? This is Egyptian food?
Yeah.
It's very good. I like it.
That's right.
You guys also wrote your cardinal sin and just like completely doxed yourself on 2 episodes ago.
Oh,
Wait, we
shit,
did?
really?
You literally were like, this smoothie place that's exactly here that used to be a vape shop. And I was like,
Oh, I forgot we did the smoothie place episode.
Yeah, I didn't edit out I said I was gonna edit out the names, but then I was like, fuck it, I don't give a shit.
We're at Azama
Great. Awesome.
Egyptian Grill. That's Azama, Azama, in Allston, the neighborhood of Allston, Boston, Massachusetts, on Harvard Ave.
do you know the zip code? I'd be so impressed.
023102135?
02166. I don't know.
No, I might have said Brighton,
That's
yeah.
not right. Yeah. Brighton's 02135, Allston's 02136.
I've never lived in Allston. Nor have I mailed many things to Allston.
I lived in Allston, but it was on Thornton Street, which is the last street where it becomes Brighton. So I
Ah.
have Brighton zip.
Towns and places and zip codes.
Ooh. I'm not talking about like roads.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite type? Like, do you have a favorite road qualifier? Avenue, street, court. Like, what's your favorite one?
Lane.
Lane? You like
It's a pretty
lane?
nice one. You don't really see that often.
Place.
I was going to
Place
say
is
that,
right.
you fucker.
Yeah.
I think way is kind of cute.
Yeah.
Like it's like Butterfield Way.
Crossing's pretty good.
Crossing's
Ooh, that's a
good, yeah.
one. Yeah.
Terrace. That's a really good one.
Stately.
Definitely stately.
I feel like it really depends if it's in like a cul-de-sac, like housing complex, or if it's just on its own somewhere. If it's just a random terrace, that's like awesome.
Yeah, cul-de-sac ones are usually like have like very
Bumblebee
like
Lane.
yeah, exactly. like Wildflower Honey Street.
But if you find a street that's named that and it's just in the middle of some other random streets in like a nowhere place, that's so great.
Well, I'm pretty
It's good
sure a
shit.
terrace technically is a street offshoot. Like I think terrace might have a real definition where a street isn't a terrace can't be a street. I think a terrace is like
Like a dead end.
like a type of I think it could be in the category of cul-de-sac, but isn't a cul-de-sac.
What?
Like remember my old street in Brighton that had a terrace going off of it that had the same name.
Was it a one-way?
No, it wasn't.
That might be the qualifier.
Like a dead end that doesn't have the way at the end. Interesting.
So do you think that artists should be able to analyze their own work and describe it on a technical basis?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think it's required sometimes. I think if you don't do that first, other people won't do it for you.
Yeah, but I think artists do it wrong for their own work, like all the time.
Wait, can we elaborate on this question? What does this question mean?
Okay, so like I mean, for myself as a musician, I can do this. I can take any one of my songs and I can show you I can analyze the chord progressions and tell you the chord functions and show you how the melody relates to the subject matter and talk about the poetic devices I use in my lyrics and the rhyme schemes and all that shit. And for me, I had to learn that stuff because I'm kind of analytically minded and being able to break things down and put them back together helps me understand things better. But I also know a lot of musicians that write intuitively and don't really engage with it on that level, and I feel like they're better than me sometimes, and sometimes I feel superior, and so I think it's an interesting subject.
So I think this goes back to a different conversation we had where I feel like those are two different things. Like, because I wouldn't call what you're doing analysis of your own music. I would call that an artist statement. Like if you explain all these different things that you used in your chord progressions and like you explain your lyrics and what you meant by them and this, you're not like sucking your own dick and talking about how amazing you are. If like that's not like you're just talking about what you created and explaining it and putting it into words for the viewer to understand.
But I feel like that brings up the third point, which is that what an artist statement is?
I mean,
Because I feel like a lot of artist statements are highly conceptual, which is why I had my contrarian take in the first place. Because usually people who are over-explaining their concept fuck it up and make it not relatable to anybody else that had another reading.
so now we're talking about
Wait,
being
what's your
bad at
contrarian?
writing.
That artists
they
being
shouldn't.
allowed to, or I mean, you can do whatever you want, but like, it's not advised, in my opinion, for an artist to be analytical about their work. But I changed my mind actually.
Where do you draw the line about being bad at writing an artist statement, bad at art analysis? And like, because like if you read a shit fucking artist statement and you're like, this person's a dumbass and they shouldn't have done this, like, should they never have done it or should they have done it better?
Does it change the quality of the art?
Doing them. Sorry. That's not what you were saying.
Oh no, it's okay.
Nobody's good at anything the first time they do it.
This conversation is getting confusing.
Okay, but I see a clarification here. When you say bad at writing, you mean bad at writing the analysis, not necessarily whatever work it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you say they should never have done it, it's the analysis, not the work.
The analysis, yeah. Because there are a lot of artists that are fucking, like musicians, for example. There are musicians that are amazing singers, great at their instrument, write great lyrics, but you ask them like what they mean by it, and they give you this like quippy Bob Dylan, like, I don't know, man. I'm not a poet. Like, and they don't explain anything,
Yeah.
and that's
They might
fine.
be playing a part.
They might be playing a part, but we flip over to a different like type of art, like maybe performance art, and this is the opposite, where this is an art medium that really doesn't speak for itself in a lot of ways and does need the writing, and it does need the analysis.
That's another thing too, is I feel like it's important to distinguish if we're talking about songwriting or like painting. And that's what you're saying basically, but
Oh yeah, I mean, some art does not need analysis in order for us to understand it and love it, but that doesn't necessarily make analysis wrong.
True. Analysis is fun.
It's definitely not required for any art.
Yeah.
And if the art can't stand on its own and we don't even know it's art, we can't even understand that somebody made a thing unless it has analysis.
So part of where my interest in this subject comes from is that I hung out with a lot of art students in my 20s, and they all went to this art school, the Museum of Fine Arts school of the Museum of Fine Arts, and I guess they've got a very high modernist approach there, where like things have a literal meaning, and it's the job of the artist to explain what that meaning is. And I remember one night at the Monkey Palace, I was talking to this kid, and I was saying that I don't like that, and I think things should stand on their own. And he was like, "Yeah, man. I went to this gallery, and this kid had this piece. It was a pile of red sponges, and he said it was about Darfur. And he had this whole thing about how it was about Darfur, and I was like, the guy was saying, like, I was like, no, it's fucking not. It's a pile of red sponges. Like, and like, I mean, I guess if you're talking about abstract shit, like by definition, abstract shit isn't about one thing, because then it wouldn't be abstract. So like, maybe you could look at this through the lens of what's happening in Darfur, or like, you know, genocide, human rights abuses, whatever you're looking at, and you can, maybe this pile of red sponges and the way it's configured and the color and the alignment of things, the size of the sponges, maybe that'll evoke some kind of feeling that has something to do with this experience. And like you could say that, but then you could also apply that same thing to any number of types of experiences. Like that's how I would look at things.
So what I would say about that is the conflict here is postmodernism versus modernism. Because the abstract expressionists, Rothko, Mondrian, even fucking Pollock, who is like a shitlord, they didn't make anything that didn't have an explanation.
Yeah.
Like Rothko always had like they had clear intentions to their abstraction.
What about Pollock?
Pollock, I gave Pollock the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Pollock specifically didn't, but someone like Mondrian, for example, he's the guy, red square, yellow square, blue square, white square, linear, white and black lines. Okay, perfect. Okay. So these people, the modernists through the 40s, 50s, and whatever, these people had like really detailed, real artist statements and defenses and arguments for their abstraction. But that really, and there's still a lot of people that do that, but it is like a kind of avant-garde postmodern thing to have the urinal because it's a urinal, or just like pee in the art gallery, and that's the whole thing. There's no art in there, we just peed in it, you know what I mean, or something like that, which is like a departure in an ending of modernism.
That one where the chick put the SpaghettiOs in her vagina.
So that's
about that one.
And she was probably this isn't even like who is like there, and then there follows this conversation about like what even is art, or like I don't need a statement, like you don't need to know what this means, I just put the SpaghettiOs in here.
Well, that's where the conflict between, or maybe the overlap between modernist, like just regular modernist art, and Dadaist art.
Yeah, Dada, avant-garde shit.
Yeah.
I feel like Dada and avant-garde
shit, copyright.
Oh.
Is that gonna be a problem?
Honestly, nobody fucking listens. No, I don't know, but I don't know if that'll be a problem. Who knows? But I feel like Dada and avant-garde was the end of modernism. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't
My
know.
dad always said that 9/11 was the end of modernism.
So that's a cool opinion. I like that. I resonate with that. But like in terms of art history, like there are people that consider Andy Warhol a contemporary artist. Well, people in generations before Warhol, modernists. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally full of shit and I'm stupid.
I think the thing about that
I might be
perspective...
just a stupid asshole.
No, I know.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I feel like a lot of people that have that perspective, though, are also in the school of thought that, like, conceptual art and contemporary art ended in, like, the 80s.
Yeah,
That's, like, the art school history.
I mean, we're running into terminological problems here because you can think of these discrete movements of visual art which had specific figures doing specific things for specific reasons.
Yeah.
But then you could look at, like, these terms are also used to describe literary movements in a broader sense that, like, transcends these artistic boundaries. Like, really like what is the substantive difference between modernism and postmodernism. It's the breakdown of meta narratives, but fundamentally they're still both based on this upheaval of the established order of things, right? Modernism is about creating this entirely new means of expression or whatever it is from the ground up, and then postmodernism is still just an extension of that. So the 9/11 point is I mean it's poetic really more than anything else I would say at this point, but like I mean you could look at the Twin Towers as the ultimate symbol of modernism. That there's
I like that.
There's two of them. It's a ready-made.
Yeah.
There, two is an arbitrary number. Why are there two? Well, that's all we could fit, but we could have potentially put more.
The triplet towers.
Could have
So
been.
yeah, I like that. I think we could just abandon this whole modernism ended in the 90s thing and say that modernism ended at 9/11. I think we should all just agree on that.
I don't think modernism ended.
How about fuck you? I'm sorry. Not really. Explain. Why?
I kind of said it without actually thinking of the reason. But also, I really am going to defend that point. I feel like a movement that's continually in response and opposition to what came before doesn't end. It just reincarnates.
Yeah, it does start to cascade, which is where I think the convenience of just classifying things through, I forget the word you used, was like just micro aesthetic. Discrete, yeah, just like Dadaist, avant-garde. It's like,
From an art history standpoint, like chronological art movement stuff, Dada was first, wasn't it?
What do you mean? What, in terms of modernism?
Like if you're talking about like the urinal piece versus like Pollock.
Yeah, Dada.
That was like 20 years before.
I think Dada started in like the 19-teens.
Yeah. Which means these artists that you're talking about that followed, that had really abstracted work, that had a statement, was in response to the art world being so cavalier.
That's true, man. I wish I actually knew what the fuck I was talking about.
Same.
I completely don't.
I hung out with art students for 10 years, so I can sound convincingly like I know what I'm talking about to people who don't.
Well, the useful part of all this is philosophizing about what things mean right now. It's really, I feel like it's not a vital. Like you don't need all the facts to talk about shit, and to demand the facts as like a passport.
Facts.
Yeah, right. Well, to demand the historical accuracy of a discussion like this is gatekeeping. So, like, if we don't have all the fucking names and dates, like, who gives a
Yeah, it
fuck?
really doesn't matter,
And
I
if we
guess.
demand as a ticket into this discussion that
Art history
prerequisite,
101.
yeah, then we wouldn't be having it at all.
I mean,
Counterpoint made.
I'm so fucking smart. My fucking brains are like popping out of my ears. I'm fucking so intelligent.
What's the difference? Fuck. Okay, so I had this thought the other day, and I don't know if it's entirely bullshit. I wanted to just throw it out here. So, it seems to me that with visual art, you can get away with more repetitive subject matter or whatever you want to call it. You can make pictures that all fucking look the same with slight variations, and you can get away with that a lot more easily than with music. Like I can't. I was thinking about like why I can't just write another song with the same chorus. Like that's just like a no-no. And I think the reason that expectation is different is because visual art doesn't make a specific demand on your time. You can look at a painting for 1 second, or you can stare at it for 4 hours. It's like that's up to you. But with the song, like you're sitting here for however long I want you to sit here to get the point of what I'm doing. And so, like having made that investment, the listener wants something new every time because there's more buy-in in there. I don't know. Does that?
But the thing is, though, if there was a Chris O'Grady fan of your music, and you know every time you put out an album, these people were like desperately wanting to hear it. If every single song on the album sounded like a completely fucking different artist and like a completely brand new sound that was a completely unique composition every single time, it would be probably like you'd be so avant-garde that and niche that it would probably be horrible. So I think that there is a certain amount of consistency that people do expect from music artists that they like. Like if you turn on the band that you want to be, like, I can't even think of an example, but like, I don't know, dude, like if you listen to fucking Adele and you're just a huge Adele fan and she drops a song and it sounds like fucking Beck, like you're not, like it's like you didn't get the artist, that you were looking for. So like, and I think that if you did see an artist, like a visual artist that actually was constantly in repetition with their own imagery, like you would probably detect it and not like it.
I disagree.
Well, so okay, but to finish my point,
Like if you had a visual artist that hypothetically painted variations of their own face.
okay, so let me say this. I'm not saying, so I think there's a difference between hack repetition, like just recycling and shitting out the same thing over and over again, like using the same chorus on every fucking song and the same chord progression every time, and motif. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't fucking know. What are your thoughts? Okay, never mind. I keep interrupting everybody. I'm gonna pass
It is
the
your
mic.
show. Like you're allowed to like.
No.
I think that the word allowed is really interesting because you're like, I'm not allowed to use the same chorus, and that completely depends on the master that you're serving when you're writing. If you yourself just decide that it serves you best to just write like 9 songs that have the same exact chorus, and maybe that is your through line even for you, like maybe that's part of your concept, maybe that's part of your analysis, if like it's all different except for one through line point or whatever. Or maybe it's nothing. Maybe you're just like learning guitar or whatever, or you're doing something just to get some shit off your chest. You're never gonna put it in front of anyone. You're not trying to be marketable. You're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want. You know, and I do understand what you're saying about the time investment thing, but I think that it's like inherently invalidating to like yourself or anyone that would be doing that, and to like kind of almost make it like it's not an art form anymore if you're just repeating yourself all the time, you know?
Yeah, I guess I would not go that far. And so, like, I mean, my inclination to respond to, like, what I mean by allowed is that it's not marketable, but that's kind of a moot point because nothing I do is really marketable.
But you do hold yourself to an aesthetic standard.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
You believe in good music, like you're in key, you're doing harmonies, and you're like you. Anyway, you get my point.
Yeah, well, I mean, I write things that I want to listen to, and then I never listen to them.
I guess so. I think in terms of allowed, I think like I don't know, like you can like you could be Gigi Allen.
It's not true. I listen to my own music.
No, that's cool. But you can be horrible if you want to, and that's okay. But I do think that like it's really hard to nail down because anything and everything. I'm like I keep getting like I feel so disrespectful and distracted because I feel like I'm like completely invading this like restaurant. And I like freaking out. What?
Is it close?
I don't know.
No, they close at 2 a.m.
They close at 2 a.m.? Okay. Well, I think that even though all of us accept anything, like that you can be and do anything you fucking want, there's no rules. Everybody in here, not any of us make shitty fucking art. You, Trevor, you hold yourself to an aesthetic standard of good music, and you meet that as best as you can and make good music. You do the same thing with your art, Theo. You do that, Chris. I do that, but we all do it in different ways. But I feel like there is a transcendent, higher thing that we all, that may not be united, but we all see a greater art that we want to be making.
Both have meme projects though.
Have what?
Me and you both have objectively like meme projects for outlets and things that aren't necessarily held to that standard though. Which is interesting because I wouldn't say that those are invalid because both of those still get plenty of streams. Obviously, I need to put it into a musical sense so I have any like touchstone to be able to talk about this intelligently. But like certain, not all, but certain Brian Huntress records, and then certain, not all, Zero at Best records are not necessarily at the same standard that either of us would put a bullpup or a boxer's jaw.
Okay, good counterpoint. That's true.
You know what I mean? Like we're ripping like Toothbrush, but like
Right.
I'm gonna tell you like, especially when I was younger, I was like, oh yeah, Toothbrush like rips.
Which, for context, is a terrible fucking song that I made.
I just want to say I don't love framing it in terms of good and bad. Like I do think about it that way, but it's not. Like I think a lot of the conversation about music and the quality of it goes back to this classical understanding of art as the purpose of art is being to create beauty and either failing or succeeding in that. And like the way I think about it is it's all about expression and evocation of feelings. And ultimately, like at its most basic, it's what is this thing trying to do and does it do it? And that's my own criteria for it. Like every time, you know, I have some feeling I'm trying to express, some feeling I'm trying to evoke, some thoughts I want to explore, and I don't stop editing until I feel like it does the thing that it wants to do. But is it good or bad? Can I compare it to other things? Like I don't care.
I think another thing too is that classical lens, I think, is the crux of the question, because I disagree that you can't use repetition in music or visual art, because if you think about it from an advertising standpoint, people repeat the same images all the time with intention. That's the thesis of like the whole obey shepherd fairy thing, that was taken from like 90s advertising posters, just putting the same image everywhere over and over and over again. And artists will use that same composition, same motif, so that their work looks familiar, so you kind of unconsciously recognize it and want to buy it later.
Isn't that literally from the movie They Live?
Did you know that person?
No, I made a friend. But also, isn't that a thing with like pop music, that the same song or the same like music will get ripped off by another artist because it's familiar to a second generation and a third, and etc.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's kind of dovetailing into another conversation about inspiration and you know what some people like to call theft. I like to think of borrowing as stealing. I think that's a cooler way to think about it. It makes me feel cooler
I back
to
that.
think about it that way. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that like it's like we touched on like so many different things, so it's hard to address one part of it. But in terms of repetition, I think that I think like anything, like there's like you can salt your food or you can dump the salt on your food. You know what I mean? Like I think with any like artistic utility like that, like I don't know, like think of Nike. Imagine if Nike drew a different check mark every time they put out an ad. Like they just penned a different one. Like it would look like shit. Or if they just invented a brand new image every single time they marketed.
Yeah.
Like or McDonald's. Like I mean like this is like classic. Like I'm regurgitating like I don't know, classic like graffiti. Like that's like the thesis of pop art.
Yeah.
As an entire fucking movement is like repetition of like imagery, like in order to. Okay, so this is interesting because there is repetition of imagery for an aesthetic purpose, for an artistic thing, but then there's the marketing and performance piece, like someone like Shepard Fairey, or going back to Warhol, who the repetition is the art. Like the fact that the Obey poster is in every fucking city in the world, all over every block, was the art piece in a lot of ways.
I think it's interesting too, talking about like contemporary modern art, because the barometer for what is popular or what is successful art has become what sells, which means like those things are kind of dovetailing more and more. It's not about capturing beauty at all from a like, I don't know, sales standpoint, I guess.
I also realized that this whole conversation about repetition in music, I'm going to get flogged if we don't talk about the four chords of pop. And like harmonic patterns do get repeated exactly the same over and over again by everybody. And that's not a bad thing. Like the 12-bar blues is probably the most common chord progression in all of Western music, and it's fine. Like you can do that.
Yeah, I mean like the 1-4-6-5. Or like, you mean
5-6-4.
any variation of the same thing, but like I've wondered at times, is like I know that you can repeat it. Like we could write a doo-wop album and make a nice doo-wop album.
Do it.
Okay, yeah, but like
Yeah,
I mean
but it's all the same. Do.
Right.
Do.
But like
That would be so funny.
I guess I'm saying though it's that like people. Oh, for real? That's fucking awesome. Good plug.
So Troll 2 does this medley now, where we've got our song "Fuck the Police," which is doo-wop changes. So added this medley where we do Rainbow Connection, In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, Stand By Me, and Baby I'm an Anarchist in the middle of it.
I love
It's
that.
all the same.
It just doesn't change at all. Yeah.
Wait,
It
to
actually does. They're all slight variations, but it's the same idea.
To hit on my point again, real quick though, do we with something like the four pop chords, are we repeating the same things because they work, and it's just like a nice thing to repeat? But I wonder how much, like, we are doing that, and a lot of people do that. But could that be also just a limitation of Western music in a lot of ways?
God, no.
You don't think so?
No, because it's not even just Western music in general. Like, I mean, we've gone through movements, through periods of time where pop music was more experimental harmonically, and it's just, harmony is just one element of composition. And right now, like, our pop music, the areas of the most creativity are in music production, are in like the way they use the samples and drum mixing and all the tuning and all the layers of shit. And so like the familiarity of the chord progressions are grounding, but also they also use different chord progressions, and it's not all the same thing. And even if they are using that thing, there are substitutions and tensions and all kinds of ways to variate on it, and it's no, it's not.
But I mean, I wonder if I would even consider all of that, what you just mentioned, included in the limitation of Western music. Because like when we listen to something like, I don't know, it's like Romanian folk, like that kind of like subgenre of like folk punk, where we're like hearing these like fucking crazy like drum patterns and different tempos and time signatures, and like it's like the most obvious to our ears when people from different countries and completely different cultures adapt it to American folk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where we start to see all these like crazy different like ideas and shit, and like things that like you wouldn't even like, you would never see, even in indie music.
I watched this YouTube video the other day about how the Beatles used Indian music. That was interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I never really realized consciously that like kind of shimmery sound that they use on a lot of songs, that's like somebody playing, like I always thought of that as just hippie shit, but that's like an Indian instrument. But like, yeah, I mean, to actually answer your point, like yeah, I guess there is some of that, but then any culture is gonna run into the same thing, because like the Romanians, like that's what sounds normal to them, and then things outside of that be unfamiliar. But I mean, and this is also the problem with the idea that music is a universal language.
Right.
It's not. It's like saying that talking is a universal language.
They literally don't have microtones.
No.
And like a lot of the world has microtones.
Yeah.
So even just there, which would kind of give the effect that you were talking about like narrowing down if someone grew up like playing instruments and like understanding music in a microtonal way, and then it's stripped way back, and then they're like confined to pentatonic and like major minor scales. It just like, it completely changes. It's kind of like having an accent almost when you learn a different language. So like if you learn Spanish, your accent when you're speaking Spanish most likely isn't going to be as good as like someone who spoke it their entire life. Good.
That's one thing that actually fucked my mind recently, is that people can speak other languages with an accent. So like, you could have like somebody speaking Mexican with a German accent. Like,
that is pretty
just,
interesting.
Like fucked my mind up. Speaking Mexican, speaking Spanish, Jesus Christ.
I was fine with it. You know what is like, I've always found that interesting with people who are multilingual, how like isn't it interesting how it's like, so like if any of us just pretended to have a British accent, we would be like fucking morons. Like you're a dumbass if you do that.
Cheerio.
Right,
like supposed dick.
But imagine if you were completely sincere doing that. Like it would be really,
No, it's fake. They don't actually talk like that. They only do that when we're just,
the entire nation.
it's a fake accent.
just spotted dick. Oh, I actually was pretty convinced. But it's interesting. But like when you're speaking other languages, a lot of people will. I feel so stupid right now. Actually,
You have to do the accent
I'm aborting.
when you're speaking another language. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I guess I never even thought about it like that because I don't speak any languages.
Wow, you're dumb.
I speak I probably am at like 40% capacity in English.
That's not true.
Well, what is 100%? Is 100% fucking
me.
Shakespeare?
No, it's me.
Like, what is the 100% English?
Which is arguably the microtone of fucking speech.
Well, I'm saying, okay.
Actually, I really like that analogy because it's not good for English. It works really well in Latin, and it carried over into English poetry. But that's not. It's not the rhythm. Like English falls more naturally into triplicate rhythms. That's why like all the hip hop is turned into like the triplet things and like the da-da, like there's all these rhythmic forms that are more comfortable.
That is such a hard thing to do. Do you guys feel like this environment is like making it really hard to conduct this conversation?
I'm gonna sit in the car.
Ah,
I'd like to have a cigarette.
All right, let's do cigarette. Do you want to get out? All right, sorry.
I'm just listening to this conversation and thinking right now. Like,
Music sucks.
I literally, you guys were like, modernism, and I was like,
I missed. Oh, excuse me. Oh, fuck yeah, bro.
I wonder if you can hear any of your conversation on the recording.
What, any of those guys' conversation?
No, ours.
Oh, no, ours is definitely good.
So this place up here. Wait, no, it's over there.
Oh, yeah?
We don't need to go there. It's not the thing anymore. But there is this place called Store 54 where we had Fitzy's surprise bachelor party for him.
Sorry.
We made him play a show. It was a cool little old record store. It's gone now.
Brian Fitzgerald is one person that I've thought would be really great for this podcast for a long time.
You need to get him on this podcast.
Yeah,
Get him talking about like fucking multi-dimensional shit and hallucinogenic mushrooms, and you'll have 2 hours of content right there.
Yeah, there were some times in the past where I kind of accidentally got into a conversation like that with him, and I was like just fucking totally not like thought it was cool, but I was so not understanding what the fuck was going on because me and Brian were part of the same shared studio space for probably like 2 years, honestly, between the Puzzle Factory and the Chess Company.
You know, I usually do understand what he's saying.
Hey, do you guys want to stand and talk, or do you guys want to make it back to the cars? Sorry for interrupting you, Chris.
it's a
You're not,
little
sorry.
breezy.
Are we
Yeah,
getting
I'm
kind
a
of
little
cold?
chilly.
Should we go towards
I'm
the
fine
cars?
now, but I know in like 10 minutes I'm gonna be like,
All right, let's go to the cars then. Fuck it, sorry. Also, if you guys want to just shut this off at any point, it's all good too. If you guys want to abort mission.
I'm kind of enjoying this conversation. Right
You are? Me too. Once I get my podcast brain on, I really can't stop until my physical body has depleted all of its
I
energy.
love being a content fiend.
Yeah.
Isn't it a great life that we all lead?
I've noticed that the cadence of your voice changes a little
It
bit.
does. It does.
Really? What do you mean?
That.
I mean, that
It
you have
starts here and it goes up into here.
podcast voice.
Every time that you're saying something, it ends like this.
Fuck.
You go into broadcaster mode, which isn't a bad thing. I did it with Death of the Scene too, like all the time.
You also do this thing where you like paint the scene a lot. Like,
Well, we're audio only.
well, no, it's a good thing because I never do it.
Oh.
It'll just be like we're sitting here, and we're talking to so and so, and they are such and such, and it's a beautiful day, and we're da da da.
Even clarifying, like you clarified, I forget what it was, like modernism or something like that earlier. And like that's the thing you should do, because if it's someone who's just getting into the scene, like you know, like anything that someone's gonna take for granted.
It's hard to do those things though, because in real conversation off record,
It's really uncomfortable.
it would be so rude.
Crazy.
Like
we didn't paint the scene at all in that restaurant, and I feel like that would have been weird.
Yeah, in front of those.
If we're
people who
like
work
we're
there.
sitting in a restaurant. It's
Sitting at a six.
it's all right. It's like not like a really fancy place or
It's good though.
Egyptian.
Yeah, I try to do it like I take
Oh.
I take my inspiration from all the. Oh, okay, we're jaywalking. We're doing a
literally following the law
doing a
right now.
diagonal right now.
Everything's okay.
Right in music hall.
They're singing.
Do you want to go over there and see what these people are up to?
Happening in
Yeah,
Brighton
let's
Music Hall at like 10 a.m.
Okay.
Wait, what are they singing?
They're waiting in line. I wanna feel adventure. I wanna.
What show could this possibly be that these people are still waiting in line for?
It's like emo night, so it's
Oh,
like
really?
a cover night. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. Oh,
We're like got sold out at like noon today.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's fucked. Wow.
No, not emo covers. It's like EDM club, right? But instead they just play emo songs.
That's fucking lit, actually.
I have a
We
lot
can
of
try.
feelings about it, actually, but I will put them away because they're excited about it and I don't want to bring it in.
Well, musically, maybe not, but it sounds really
Favorite emo band?
What?
Favorite emo band?
Paramore.
Paramore? We got Paramore.
Pierce the Veil.
Pierce the Veil. Is Pierce the Veil really emo though? See, I'm not a man in the street guy. I'm not a man in the
All of you will die.
Send it.
Hey folks, what's your favorite emo band? You're on a podcast right now, by the way. We do Slice of Life in Boston. We're just taking polls. What's your favorite emo band?
Say anything.
Say anything? Fuck yeah, dude. That's like one of my favorite bands. Anyone else?
4 years strong.
4 years strong?
Say
Hell yeah.
anything tattoo? I love that. Hell yeah.
Dude, yeah. Anyone else favorite emo bands?
My chem, of course.
My Chem, hell yeah. Anyone want to tell me your favorite emo bands? Anyone? Panic? Hell yeah, dude. It's okay. Participation is optional. Favorite emo bands? Anyone? Favorite emo bands? Anyone? What's your favorite emo band? Hell yeah, thank you. Hey folks, anyone want to tell me your favorite emo band? You're on a podcast right now. We do Slice of Life in Boston.
Does Fall Out Boy count?
Sure, dude.
Fall Out Boy, that's it.
Oh boy. Anyone else? Favorite emo bands?
What's the question? Favorite emo band?
Panic.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
or Asking Alexandria.
Asking Alexandria.
Either.
Did my man say Coldplay back there?
He really said Coldplay.
My man said Yellow. What the fuck? Okay. Anyone else want to tell me your favorite emo band? We're doing a podcast, Slice of Life in Boston. Anyone want to tell me?
Yes.
Whoa, one at a time. You.
Me. What am I doing?
What's your favorite emo band?
Oh, fuck. Blink 182.
Blink 182. You nailed it. Good job. Good job. I heard participants down here. What's your favorite emo band?
Fall Out Boy.
My Chemical Romance. What was yours?
Fall Out Boy.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Trevor, that was awesome. Thank you for doing that.
Did you see me like become robot for a
That was
second?
good. You really fucking killed it.
So
I'm
I
really
hate to
happy
say
that you did
this
that.
to you, but we're going in the wrong direction.
Oh,
No, I
okay.
picked up on that. And I was like, we're going to have
Should
to
we go back?
through all of them.
Hey, what if we think of a debate idea? Well, I feel like if we ask them a really like, I don't know, like
Listen.
Fall Out Boy or My
See
Chem.
how
think we
pressed
should-
they were all just to get...
Do you hear them talking right now?
What are they saying?
They're like, that was a joke. They're not coming back. They don't have a podcast.
I don't know, babe. I'm having a crisis.
I mean, I can
I'm
double
having an
down.
existential
I can
crisis.
double down if you want.
Why didn't we
Would you
tell them what
double
the
down, yeah.
podcast was?
All right, here you go. You go ahead.
Tell them
Is that what's happening? Do we have to go that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Here we go. Are you ready to watch this get like dirty really fast? Dude. Who gave me an answer earlier? Someone gave me an answer earlier. No one? Someone gave me an answer. You gave me an answer earlier, right? You gave me an answer earlier?
I'll stand by it. This song is fucking good.
Have you ever heard of a band called Bullpup?
Nope.
Bullpup?
I'm mostly listening to K-pop now.
Dude, fuck yeah. What's your favorite K-pop band?
EXO. Oh, I mean for men. For girls, it's definitely probably like Red Velvet or Luna.
Hell yeah. If you're interested in hearing this, it's the Boston Art Podcast.
That was good.
Cool. Who gave me an answer earlier? I have a follow-up question if you gave me an answer earlier. Or if you didn't participate and you want to. Anyone? It's okay. It's optional. It's all good. Who gave me an answer earlier? Did you give me an answer earlier? Have you ever heard of a band called Bullpup?
No.
Okay, it's Bullpup.
Okay.
It's a Boston-based emo band. It'd be really cool if you checked it out. Or if you prefer podcasts, the Boston Art Podcast, which is what you're on right now.
Okay. Cool.
There you go.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Would you consider Shioda's emo or screamo?
That's a really, really long question to unpack. For me personally, I don't think screamo is actually a thing. And I honestly think that the general consensus of like emo isn't actually emo. And a lot of people that are like, Paramore, Fall Out Boy, to me is more a pop punk thing, and when you get more into emo, is like a Say Anything, more into like Alessandro type deal. I think all of it is opinion though, and like everyone could just have fun. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Who gave me an answer earlier? Who wants to be on the podcast? Anyone? No? I think that's everyone we talked to already. Everyone else went inside. They're having fun. All right, hell yeah. Just to waste my time with you. Tell me.
I love that. That was fucking awesome. You could do the man on the street bit.
Yeah, you crushed it.
So I think I would have a literal like anxiety attack doing like I can't be the man on the street bit. That sounds like a literal nightmare. But you just crushed it.
I just shut my brain off, and like I don't remember anything that just happened.
That's good.
Like that's what I do on stage too. I just like ramble.
So you know what would be really good that I think would make a fucking amazing just show of any kind that you could do is camera filming you do that but with a megaphone. And you just run up to people like go like and just like
I just see here's
megaphone and then let the people who are answering you megaphone talk through it as well.
It's like a Channel 5 thing. I feel like the only problem I have with that is I hate making people feel like unease.
Right.
Like even one of the girls that like gave me an answer, she ran up to give me the answer and then she was like I was like, that I hate doing that to someone. You know what I mean? Like that sucks.
Oh shit. That was really good. We should clip that whole thing and you should just put it on like the Bullpup
me just having like
page
a
or something.
manic episode. Yeah,
that was good. Wow. Oh look, this guy's doing what I did earlier.
You can do it, bro.
Yeah, don't do the thing I did. Just commit to this parking lot.
Cool that you killed all those people, Brian.
I know. I honestly meant to. It was not an accident. Good jump, guys. So
we're in a parking lot.
Yep. There's a lot of graffiti. We're behind all of the stores and restaurants in Allston.
The aforementioned Manatee parking lot.
Yeah. Wow. So what are we doing with the cars right now? So you have to get back to your car in South. Both of you guys have to get back to Southie.
Yeah.
To the Seaport.
I need you to take me to Southie.
All right. Guys, we just crushed an hour episode.
One time I was in Boston and I came here to do drugs. I was on acid and I was arranging to meet with some friends at Wonder Bar because they were techno kids, and I was going to go to the techno show, and I got there and the fuckers had left already.
Oh my god!
And I took the train in, and it was past the train time, and I was tripping in acid in the middle of the city in the middle of the night. And I was like, I'm fucked, and like so I just started walking, and like I walked past Great Scott, rest in peace, and Sonny Jim was working the door, and he was like, "You want to come back to my place?" I was like, "Oh yeah." And I went and slept in Sonny Jim's grandparents' basement floor.
He would be a really weird person to have on this podcast.
Yeah. You should do it.
That would be strange.
I don't know.
What is
definitely do that.
What is the most absolutely fucked time you've ever had on acid? Or acid variants?
Okay, well, I mean, there was the most unpleasant time was just one time that I took it, and then I went back to my parents' house, and I was just coming up, and I just had to hide in my room for 10 hours, having a panic attack, and that was bad.
That's fucking horrible.
Okay, so there was one time. So I was at the Monkey Palace, and I was drunk, and this guy, this dude, there was this kid. There was this gentleman. He was like a preschool art teacher, so of course he always got the craziest drugs. And he was telling me, he was been in my ear all night about this shit, 25I Nabomi. He was like, it's a synthetic phenethylamine. It's a research chemical that's active in the LSD range, which, in case anybody doesn't know, LSD is much stronger by weight than pretty much any other fucking substance. It's active in the microgram range, and this shit was on the same level. And I was like, okay, give it to me. And he was like, I don't have it right now, but I'll bring it by tomorrow morning. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. I was drunk. I went to sleep. I woke up to the sound of the doorbell ringing. It's this guy, Michael. And he comes in and he's like, I got the stuff. You still want to do it? And I was like hungover, and I was like, yeah, give it to me. So he takes out a syringe and a vial, and he fills it up. And he says, okay, snort this up your nose.
Wait, so he put the needle up
There
to
wasn't
your
a
nostril?
needle. It wasn't a needle.
Oh,
It was just the syringe without the needle.
So he pushed the plunger.
No, he handed it to me.
Okay.
And I snorfed it up my nose, and just instantly fucking gone. Horrible, violent, insane trip. And the next thing I knew, I was in New York City.
Wow.
And yeah, and me and Mark went to this Occupy Wall Street 1-year anniversary show. and Tom Morello was playing. And they had this, like, it was an Occupy Wall Street thing, so they had this janky ass fucking rickety stage that they built. And there was obviously no security. There were cops there that were just like waiting for an opportunity to start beating people's heads.
Right.
And there was this giant mosh pit of Krusties. And this is how I know that Tom Morello is based, because he invited all the Krusties up on stage with him. And then the stage buckled, and they had to get off.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
So by the time you were in New York City, you were like feeling more sentient.
I was mostly back by that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wow. What? Yeah, that's fucked, man. That's fucking crazy. How long was it in between when the nose syringe
no idea.
in New York? You have no idea.
Some matter of hours, but I don't know exactly how much.
That's fucking insane. Wow. Hallucinogens, man. Do you think hallucinogens should be medicine?
I'm just a hooligan who's used to using hallucinogens. Shit, I wish I could do that rhyme. I don't remember it.
Damn. So, guys, what do we do now? Should we just stand in front of our cars indefinitely recording?
What time is it?
You have to go to work, don't you?
Yeah.
It's almost midnight. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Oh fuck, you were all fucked. All right, we gotta
I don't
drive.
need to work. I mean,
Okay. So that was a fucking really good episode, guys.
Yeah.
You guys, you killed it, Trevor. That was amazing.
That was so
Thank you
good.
for your great contributions, Chris. That was
I
awesome.
listened to that at 2x speed.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Damn.
like a
Thank you as always, Theo. Amazing. All right, guys. Boston Art Podcast.
Boston Art Podcast.
Boston Art
Wow.
Podcast.
B-O-